There's Medicine Podcast with Simba, sparking positive change in the community, having real conversations and therapy. You know that laughter's the best remedy. Got that heavy dose of humor for your hearts to heal. With mental health, it can't get any more real, yeah. Best Medicine Podcast. Laugh, love, learn. Best Medicine Podcast.
Best Man Pod. This is The Diagnosis. It's your man Simba Roar back in this thing one more time, bruh. And today, guess what I have? I have a special guest. If you've ever listened to The Diagnosis, you know that Simba always has a special guest. And today ain't no different. So today, I have a young lady that I met this year who is a ball of sunshine, to say the least. She is a young lady who is cultivating her own lane in these creative streets. She's curated events. She's has multiple events in the works. She's a poet, she's a singer, she's a rapper, she's a dancer, she's a creative. The Blossom herself. I have Majestic June in the building.
Yo, what's poppin'?
Hey.
What's up, family?
How you doing?
I'm feeling great. What an introduction. I'm up here like, yes, okay, drum roll, please. All that. Yeah.
I try to get my sway on it.
Oh, okay, I was feeling it. But it was the Simba way, you know what I'm saying? Okay.
Exactly. Thank you for having us. This looks different. This set is different.
We have Blue Dream.
Talk about the space.
Man, Blue Dream is the place to be. It's walking distance from West Oakland Bar Station, y'all. This is a private membership space. So you got to tap in if you want to know about the details. I'm a member, so I can let you know. This is one of the things I'm benefiting from, is just being able to have this space and create out of it, work out of it, grow out of it.
Yeah.
I performed here. I did my first fashion show here. They have tons of events here, tons of opportunity. I also work here. So it's amazing. Tap in. Follow them on Instagram.
So now that we got the plugs out the way, tell the millions of fans who Majestic June is.
Majestic June. Okay, first of all, I'm Vanna. That's my name, but Majestic June is my artistry name, and that's how I move. That's who speaks to y'all when I'm on stage, when I have the mic. Majestic June is an I am affirmation. Majestic, meaning divinity, unique, beautiful, and June being the first month. June being the first month of summer is basically a representation of staying in bloom, staying in blossom, and never being stagnant. Like no other month could be June.
Right.
Therefore, nobody else could be me, Majestic June. So it's just another way of saying I am, period. Like nobody else could be you, just like nobody else could be me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's really taking away that competitive, the unhealthy competitive mind state that a lot of people have, because there is healthy competition, but I feel like a lot of people sometimes compare themselves to other people. And when I came up with Majestic June, I was like, I'm reminding myself every day that I'm affirming who I am, that there's no one other than me, like I'm just me. And I love June because it's like, it reminds me of nature. So it's like, the first month of summer, and if I can't believe or always see myself in the best light, I look at nature and I know that that's a reflection of me. So I'm like, okay, I'm cool, I'm smooth, you feel me? That's Majestic June, I stay in bloom.
She got some wisdom. She has some wisdom beyond her years. She told me she said her name was Majestic June. I was like, oh, my birthday in June. I like you.
Yep.
I like you. You all right with me? First time I saw you, Second Mondays. Shout out to Taylor.
Shout out.
Second Mondays on IG. But this little lady just walked up in a room full of people and was like, "Hey, my name is Majestic June, and I'm gonna do a poem about masturbation." Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
It was amazing, y'all. You had the women in there feeling her. like, yeah, me too. And then you had the fellas in there like, yeah, me too.
Yes.
How do you get in the mind state to write those thoughts down?
You know, I actually want to speak specifically on masturbation manifestation. I wrote that poem in Africa, and it was about like 2 a.m. and I had got word that I got invited to a jam session that day. So I was like, I want to write something new. Like, let's see what this is going to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it just came out. I don't know if I was in there, like, I didn't masturbate out there, but I don't know if I was in there, like, horny or how I was feeling at the time. But that's what came out of me. And it was just like, you know, actually, it's crazy. I was like, I haven't had sex in like a really long time. So I feel like it came about because I realized that, you know, I stopped having sex because I started believing, like, I already believed in it, but I really started believing in soul ties.
Yes.
And it was like, all right, look.
Yes.
Look, like,
that.
I don't know your intentions. I don't even know if you know your intentions before you come inside of me. You're not finna fuck your depression inside of me. So, like, I'm finna start masturbating and figuring out what's going on in here. Like, I started looking at my body like, okay, like, this is what things look like down here. This is what these different areas feel like. And it was just like, I had to write about it and share that because I knew other people went through that, and they needed to kind of learn more about it. And the reason it's called Masturbation Manifestation is because I was listening to Ho Phase podcast, which is shout out to the homegirls in New York, and they basically, one of the homegirls was like, yeah, like, I masturbate and manifest. And I was like, huh? Like, I must have turned it up. Like, what's she talking about?
Yeah,
and it was just like, know your power. Like, know what you're capable of.
Yes.
Like, when we come, like, that is a whole new realm that we are creating, you know what I'm saying? Especially when you're sharing that with a partner. Now, imagine if you're learning your own power before you dive in with somebody else. And that's why it was like, masturbate and manifest. And I literally do that. So right when I know I'm about to come, I literally start manifesting.
Right.
That's exactly how it happens, and that's exactly what I wrote about. And it's crazy because, like, there's a few women that have spoken to me that don't necessarily resonate with the piece.
Right.
Because they're not able to have that sacred relationship, maybe because of past trauma and things that they've been through. So they just don't, you know what I'm saying? So it's crazy. Like, now I want to write about that on that part because it's like, you know, a lot of women maybe don't masturbate or they're not comfortable with that area because of things that they've been through. So they don't know how to own that like that, speak on it like that. You know what I'm saying? So that was deep for me, like, to hear that. I was just like, whoa, like, I want to consider you too. I want you to feel considered when I'm speaking. So, like, let me write something towards that also.
Yeah, because so you don't alienate anybody. Yeah. So what are those conversations like with those women? What are they telling you about your piece? Like,
okay, for instance, there was somebody who obviously was raped, and I'm not too sure, like, terminology-wise, but I want to say... No, I don't want to say... I'm going to say that because I'm not too sure. Okay. But basically, like, you know, it's forced. Something's being forced inside of you. So now your tissues and things inside of you, it's not... Like, a lot of people aren't able to produce children and or now not have sex comfortably or not have sex without bleeding because of things that their body has been through. So when I'm speaking about, like... I start off like the way he touched me. Oh, excuse me. I mean the way I touched myself. Like all night, all right, just the way I liked it. Like a lot of people are like, you know, like I'm never gonna be able to touch myself and figure out what I like because every and any time, like, and it's very interesting. Like, just to say this, like somebody shared with me that they're still learning how to be intimate with their husband because of the things that they've been through, and they realize that they just kind of let go of the whole intimacy of that, and it just became like a thing. Like, it's just like, we're just doing this and it is what it is. And it's like that, not even that it is scary, but that just really hurt me. Like, I personally have never been through sexual trauma. So, you know, I can't relate, but I can completely understand because I know 100%. So many women that have been through that. And I hear your stories, I feel your cries, you know? So it's like, when I hear that, it just really makes me think that, honestly we need to talk about it more.
Definitely need to talk about it.
I feel obviously honored that they're able to feel like comfortable enough to come to me with that, and it's never been on no like I didn't feel appreciated with it, or never like that. But like, hey, like you should consider coming at it this way, or have you considered it this way? Because I can't necessarily relate to that. Like, you know, like I could respect it, but I can't relate. I would like to, but maybe write something of how I could get past this to get into that. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's
does that turn into a different piece, or does that mean that you're tinkering with the The old piece.
You know, I definitely have considered tinkering with the old piece. My mother has even said stuff to me about that piece.
Really?
Yeah. And it's interesting. Like, I want to tinker with it, but at the same time, that's for me.
That's your sacred.
Exactly.
That's your sacred time.
And it's like, as an artist, you know, like, it's interesting. Like, I always like to say, like, I don't live for y'all. So I'm like, I'm not going to change this for you.
Exactly.
But I'm going to consider you because I do perform for you to heal while I'm healing also.
Right.
So let me write something new for you. Right. And I have not yet to begin to do that because I'm actually going through, like, a phase right now where it's just, like, so much coming my way with sexual trauma. Surprisingly, like, it's just a lot coming my way with other women and telling me their stories and what they've been through. So I'm just sitting on it, honestly, and I'm like, you know, when the time comes, the time comes, and when it comes, it's gonna heal, and we're gonna flow and let it all go.
That you keep,
you know,
man.
Yeah,
you have to. The healing is the biggest part. The healing is the biggest part because we all have trauma.
Yeah,
and we all fight some type of demon, but actively working on your healing is better than anything that you can do.
It is. Like, when I read something today, and it was like trauma, like the trauma that you've been through is not necessarily, but it's not your choice, but the healing is completely your choice. Like, you have to choose every day to actively be like, I'm in healing, and that's why, like I say, I'm in bloom, but that is that. Like, just because I'm in bloom doesn't mean you won't see me cry. Like, it's raining outside right now. Like, it's crying all on top of the flowers. That's how they grow. Like, you got to feel all those feelings, got to go through all those phases to get that beautiful tree that you want to see.
Exactly.
Shout out to the rain. I have never heard someone describe the rain like that. Like it's raining all on top of those flowers. That's how they grow. I have never heard that, and I'm 27 years old. Bam.
Young Cass, the producer extraordinaire in the building.
Yes.
He always in the building. Tell me a little bit about where your joy comes from. Because every time I see you in real life, online,
in real life, I love it.
like, you are just this joyous being, and you emote so much positive energy. Where does that come from? Where do you store it? Is it a facade? Is it like, are you really dying inside? And it's like the only way that you can get through a day is just to be as happy as can be? Like, talk to me.
Okay, you know,
I got the hard-hitting questions on the diagnosis.
Serious, like, bring them, because, you know, like, this is why I love conversation, because we heal through conversation as long as we're being real with us.
Definitely.
Like, I love to say, if somebody's confused, I'm like, you're not being real with you.
Yeah.
If you're confused, you're not being real with you. Go take a second in that corner and reflect and come back. Right? You have the answer. So let's keep it real. Like, for sure, you know, I just want to touch that whole facade thing. Like, I personally went through a stage where I was like, is this you?
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, and actually this past Sunday, I went through it again. I'm like, I was doing something, and I'm just like, like, I'm sitting here kind of like, I was frustrated. Yeah, and like a few people walked by, I had a few interactions, and I felt horrible. Like, I just felt like I was holding back who I was, because I simply just wasn't smiling at people like when they walked by, like, and it wasn't like I'm overextending myself, but I really like needed that opportunity again to just remind me, like, that is completely like you. Like, you are holding back who you are and who you're meant to be. Like, and you know, I went through that in high school. I went through that out of high school, and just like, especially becoming a performer, and just like, you know, but it's like I meet so many like beautiful people, and like y'all bring that out of me also. Like, I'm just like heckin' happy to be in y'all presence. Like, and it's just like, I'm not gonna hide that. Like, I'm gonna celebrate me while I'm celebrating you, and we celebrating the time we spend it, and it is what it is. But it's like, honestly, the joy comes from all the trauma that I've been through and overcame. Period. It's like, I feel like
the fact that you still can stand up and have your head held high. That's where that joy comes from. It really, and it's crazy. Like, my grandma's name is Joy, and you know, like, I get a lot of my joy from her. I get a lot of my joy from my family. Like, you know, like, regardless of what I've been through, like, I was raised by a phenomenal woman, and I mean, she always kept a smile on her face. We just always had games and laughter and happiness. And we were just talking about that the other day. Like, she's like, y'all had a good childhood, right? I'm like, I had a great childhood. It was lit up.
Period. Like, I had a great, like, we danced around the coffee table, the Disney Channel shows. Like, we just did it all. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we, period. Like, little kids, we just did that the other day. You know what I'm saying? No shame in my happy game. And like some people have it, like, but it's like I don't want to have no shame in being free to be happy. And like, and I feel like, you know, love and happiness is just so like, nah, we don't necessarily need it. And it's like, and I feel like a lot of people walk that way or move that way, and that's why people feel like they don't want to completely be happy. Like, I feel like people feel that because I went through that, like, I have to choose a little bit of darkness just because this is the world we live in, and the people around me, they don't always want that smile. They don't always want that.
You can't be optimistic all the time.
Exactly, but it's like, and even within that though, like, I run into people that like don't treat me like a person. Ooh. They treat me like I'm like either a photo or just a statue because I'm always happy. So they refrain from having certain conversations with me. I feel it. Like, I feel the energy. I'm just like, I'm a person. Like,
what is that? What do you mean?
Okay, so like for instance, like even you just asking me like, why are you happy? Mm-hmm. Like, people don't ever ask that question.
Got it.
So they either do assume that, not even necessarily it is a facade, but that might be one of the things they think. Yeah. Or they're just like, she ain't never been through nothing. That's why she's so happy. And I feel like that's the worst thing to think, because I done been through hell and back. And that's why I'm here like, hey, like, you know, like, I'm happy. And every day that I wake up, like, I have to actively choose to turn that volume up and just, like, stay in that, like, you know, that state, because it gets me by. It gets me through a lot of things. And, like, I battle with depression on a day-to-day basis, to be very honest. And it's like this morning, I called out of work, and I was like, yo, I'm not feeling it. Like, I don't know what it is, but I'm going to call it a work because I'm going to feel it. Whatever it is, I'm going to feel it. Before I came here, I cried. I felt great. I'm like, I need a little crying session before I go on the podcast. Like, cry. It felt great. And, like, that's, like, just to bring it back to the brain, it's like, to look at things like cleansing, you know, they have T-shirts and gear talking about cry baby. I'm a cleansing baby. I'm a cleansing child. And there's nothing the matter with crying. And, like, you don't need permission to cry. But I feel like a lot of people need to realize that we do have to give ourselves the permission to let go and to cry, because within that, it's like you're freeing yourself and you're allowing yourself to let go of stuff, and now you can really be in that happiness. It isn't no facade, like, you know, and I've grown out of it where, like, if I'm not feeling like hecka, I won't fake the funk. I don't got time for that. That's overextending, and I went through that, but I've grown and I've learned, and I'm like, I don't like that. I'm not gonna do that because that don't make me feel good. So
I like to say, just touching on depression, it's like I don't suffer from depression. I live through depression because it is every day. It's not something that just comes in waves to where, oh, I'm happy. Now I'm depressed. No, there's a base level of sadness that you live with. Yeah. And like you said, you actively choose to be happy from it. I was having a conversation last night, and I was talking about a lot of things, but it was like my sadness, like just like you said, my sadness makes me the happy person that I am. Yeah. Because I don't have to deal with that stuff anymore. I don't have to deal with all the trauma that I have anymore. I'm free from all of that trauma now. That's why I can be as joyous and loving as I am, because it's behind me, and now I can take my story and give it to somebody like you. I can give it out to people who need to talk, just because they don't have anybody to listen to.
You know, I feel what you're saying, and for me personally, when it comes to depression, because I just said, like, I battle with it on a day-to-day basis, but I actually have been trying to not even say that, because I'm a big believer, and it's true, I'm a believer in it, but it's a fact that every word that comes out of our mouth is a seed that we're planting. And, like, if you're to look at me right now, like, just look at me as flowers, like, coming at me, like I'm a full garden. Right. And right when I say I battle with depression, this whole half of the garden goes down. Instead of being like, that's something I used to battle with. But it's not that I'm being oblivious to the things that I'm going through on a day-to-day basis. I'm just not speaking that over my life and agreeing with it. Because I feel like when we speak things over our life, and or when other people put it on us, like, we're quick to agree with it. Like, we don't even realize it. Like, even in your mind, if you're like, that's not me, say it out loud. Exactly. Say it out loud. So you know or everything in the space knows, the people know, the spirits about the bad spirits know. Like, don't try to come and attach to me. Because I'm not. So it's like, even though I'm aware of it within the day, and it's interesting, you were like, it's like, kind of like an ongoing thing. Like for me, it really is like an off and on thing. And it's like straight up, like I've been like just hecka high spirits, and the past 3 days I've just been feeling hecka down.
Yeah.
And then my period came yesterday. And I'm like, all right, you got something to do with this? I think you got something to do with this. Like, you be switching up my moods and stuff. But it was like, to feel that and be aware of that, it was like I was able to, like, control it. You know what I'm saying? Just like we do with our trauma. Like, you're like, it no longer controls us. And, like, I like to say it's in the palm of my hand now. And I control it. I'm like this, like, moving it. Like, you in a record store and you like, I want this one out today. I'm going to share it out with the world. Like, I'm going to put that one back. You know, like, hey, got him in ABC order. Like, I'm in control of you. You don't have no power over me no more. And it's like, man, like, I just try to definitely focus on, like, that aspect of it, or like at least speak it out. I like speaking it out because it really helps me like remind myself or reaffirm it like to myself that like, yo, like it's something that you're battling with or something that like, you know that you're going through, but don't affirm that and don't put that on yourself. And like, I'm a big sister of 6, and that's another reason why I love to affirm it, because I like to pass that down to them also, because we all go through it. And they talk to me about it and I'm like, yo, you going through that too? You went through that too? Like, whoa.
It happens.
Okay. Like, whoa.
I think I want to take a second because it's really important. What you said was living in your power. You have to live in your power. I was shout out to Venus.
Hey, shout out
to Venus. I was talking to Venus earlier, and I was telling her how y'all inspire me. It's like I can see that these youngsters ain't out here just wilding.
Yeah.
Like it's collectives of young people out here. I'm talking like I'm 50 years old.
Yeah,
but it's a collective of young people out here who are creating. Like I said, it's the new wave, man. It's the new wave of dope because. And when I told her that, she told me, she was like, "Yeah, you found people who have found their purpose." And when those people get together, there's nothing that can stop them. And that's what y'all have right now. It's y'all cheer each other on and lift each other up to make everybody around you great. And I'm honored to be around you and to see y'all grow and to see y'all bloom.
Yeah.
You know, I'm honored to see that. Purpose. Walking your purpose, walking your power.
It's beautiful. I have never been so happy as I have been like the past month.
Right.
Just seeing all of these performances, bro, and everybody's so positive. It's just like
everybody like genuinely.
Like you literally do not find that shit out in the streets. Like people are just upset, aggravated,
detached.
And it's like, or exactly, completely zombie mode. Just go like, oh, I'm doing this. Like, why are you doing this, Brett? Because I want a job. I want to live here. And people be like, you ever thought about why you want to do that? Yep. Be like, this is just what I'm doing.
Yeah, like
they don't even know. It's like
they don't know that they have the power of choice. You know, because they just put that underneath the chair, and they're just like, I'll just leave that there. Like, but it's like you leave that there, and now you're stuck with people asking, well, why are you doing that? I gotta have a job. I gotta do this. Like, are you happy
I'm supposed to be doing this.
Are you? Yeah. And like, I always make sure that like people feel my energy or my intent behind it, but I'll question. I'm like digging in, like, why? Huh? I don't know. Are you sure? Like, I don't think you're sure. Like, so it's like, you for sure gotta live in your purpose. Like, I'm a powerhouse of purpose. So I definitely surround myself around other individuals that know that about themselves, that claim that, and that speak that over me. Like, you gotta be intentional about the people that you're hanging out with and surrounding yourself with, and letting know what you're doing, your endeavors and all that, because let's say Venus is telling somebody right now, like, Savannah's gonna drop out her project and it's gonna be amazing, it's gonna be worldwide, versus somebody else that's like, she gonna drop out a project, like, hopefully it's good.
Right.
Look at that energy you're putting on, like, what I'm doing.
Hopefully it's good.
Maybe you'll like it. You gonna like that project.
Love it.
Exactly.
It's gonna be your favorite. You're gonna listen to it every day.
Yep. You're gonna speak about me, how you gonna speak about you.
Right.
And like that's those people that live in their purpose and live in their power, and just they love themselves. Like they care for themselves. So they're automatically gonna care and love the people that they're sharing their life with, that they're doing life with. Like it's an automatic.
I wanna get back into you a little bit.
Okay.
Where does your love for hula hoops come from? Because She gets in her little hoop bag, man. She be
man,
dancing through the hoop, all the stuff, bruh. Where does that come from? Why do you love hula hoops so much? And how are you so damn good at it?
honestly, I could be better. Like, there's so many out there that are like killing it, and I'm watching y'all on YouTube every day, and I'm learning. And like, hula hoop came about because depression, and I was like, I need a hobby. And it was like, either double dutch, but I don't got two homegirls to do like this every day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's something active, like take it back. Like take it back. You gotta like live in your inner child. And like I went on a trip, and like this young girl, like 5 or something, like she was just her, like really vibrant, and like she was speaking to me about how food is energy. She picked up a banana. It was probably like her 6th banana. I'm like, you love bananas, huh? She's like, I love energy.
Wow.
I was like,
at 5.
What? And like we're at like a raw food fest, and like I'm just like, this is amazing. And like really what it reminded me is like, I need to tap back into like my inner child, because like I just got like that great like just inspiration from her. And it was like, what was it like to be a child for you? And like you talk about real quick, like you talk about trauma and things like that, and it's like, you're healing today, right? But did you heal for that 6-year-old little girl that went through that? Let's go tap in with her and see how she was feeling throughout that time. And that's why it's surprising for me with my siblings, because like I'm talking to them now, and when they get older, like I'll remind them, like, yo, when you were this age, you were feeling this way, and now you're feeling this way. And it's like, when it comes to hula hooping, like I was always at the park, heck, active on the monkey bars, just always a part of something. I loved skating. I still love skating, like just always active doing something. But since I'm becoming a woman, and I am a woman, it's just like, I was like, yo, I want to do something that's going to help me like be more comfortable with my body. Definitely. So I was like, I think hula hooping is going to be that option. I bought a hula hoop. I put it around me. That shit dropped to the floor. I was like, all right, I got some work. It instantly dropped to the floor. I'm like, this is not cool. Like, and it was like, wow, like, heck of stiff. I'm like, yo, when I was a kid, I didn't think twice. I just put that thing around, and it was like, and it was just like, but honestly, like re-hula hooping today and age, like I look at it so differently, and I love the fact that it goes like this. Yeah. It goes around and round and round, like the world that we live in. It orbits you. And it's just like, it's the circle of life. And as I'm going around and around, you know, it's right here, and it's on my sacral chakra, and it's like, I'm connecting with a part of myself that I might not be able to connect to, doing other things. Like, this is something I love to do, and I'm being able to connect with myself just naturally while doing that. And it's happened too, because I've always wanted to incorporate like hula hoop dancing and aerial dancing within my live performances. So that's something that is definitely coming in the mix. But for now, it's just something that like I'm doing to own a part of me and to have fun and be free and just tap into that inner child. And I love it. That is to perform and hula hoop. Yes. It's definitely doable. But your breath control has to be on point. And I've been practicing, like, but like not with the tricks. Like, I'm just doing the basic like turns, and I'll just sing and like walk around. Like, I'll walk around while I'm hula hooping in my backyard and like sing and stuff. And it's definitely hard, because I have to have like this ab control while I'm going like this. And then sometimes you have to let loose of that, because you're trying to hit this one note. So it's like, you gotta have, you know what I'm saying. So I'm working it. Hip in there. Let me get that hip. Like, all right, you know. You figure it out for you, and like that's what it's about too. Like, you can like, you really can't do it wrong or right as long as intention's behind it. You just got to figure it out for you, and like that's why I'm not being hard on myself. I'm just like, yo, I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna get it how I'm gonna get it. You will, and it's about practice. It's about taking the steps, because I said that for my photography. Oh, shout out to you, real quick. Conversation with Majestic over here. She named my photography business.
Yes, she did. And it was catchy as fuck. Oh my god. You can edit that out.
Simba's Candid Captures.
Candid Captures.
It's and I was, as soon as she said it, I was like, that's the name of my business. Instantly. I felt it, and it was put in stone. Yes. But
he's a great photographer, by the way, y'all. Like, captures the best candid. Like, if you feeling down, you just need to go have a day with him to see what captures you in your most authentic self. And you're like, that's me? Wow, I'm so amazing. I'm so amazing. I look good, too.
Yeah.
Like, you're the bomb.
I appreciate you.
Yeah.
I appreciate you. So I was saying, my talent is taking pictures. I wanted to transform that talent into a skill. And I think that's what you're doing. You are good at hula hooping. You want to build that muscle up. Practice. To where you could throw the hula hoop up in that air, and that connection with that hula hoop is going to come right down on you. You're going to be able to start hula hoop. That's where the skill comes from. Death-defying acts that you think, oh, how is she about to pull this up? Because she practiced. She built her muscle up to where no matter what she does, she's going to be fine. And that's what we have to do as people. We have to build ourselves up until we're fine. That's all a part of our healing.
I like that. I love how you just, I never heard that like that, like talent and skill, how you use that. Because I was like, wait, huh? Then you broke it down. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's what I'm doing. Okay. Like, and I think it's really important to look at it like that because a lot of us are talented.
Right.
We all have, not all of us are using our talents, but a lot of us are talented. And it's like, what are you going to do with that? Now, if you're like, I started off just writing, and I'm like, I want to start saying this stuff out loud. Like, I'm a poet. Okay, poetry. Okay, listen, I'm talking it. And then I heard about spoken word. I'm like, I could put like some oomph behind this. Okay, I got it now. Okay. Hold on, these are turning into like some real hardcore raps. Like, I think I'm a rapper. Like, all right, I'm finna write a rap.
Right.
Yo, you're a flow assist. Yeah. Shout out to Flowetry. That's my favorite group. You're a flow assist. Yes. And then it's like, bring that singing in. Like, I know you've been scared of it. You know, like, you don't think you can really sing. Like, and it's crazy because, like, one person to be like, you can't sing. And, like, that's still, one cousin told me. And, like, even today I know I can sing, but I still hear in the back of my head, like, you can't sing. Like, man, and it's like certain stuff sticks with you and you don't think it does. That's why you got to say it out loud. Like, yes, I can. Because don't let that stick to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's just, like, you know, reaffirming that. But I don't know where I was going. That part.
It's
talent and skill.
Talent and skill.
That's what we're talking about.
Yep. Turn your talent into a skill.
Yeah.
My homegirl was like, you not tired of still taking all the pictures? I'm like, no. I'm like, you take enough pictures for free, people gonna start paying you for it. And as long as I'm taking free pictures, every single time I press the button, I'm getting better. So I'll be anywhere taking pictures. You can catch me anywhere. If you have an event, Best Man Pod on Instagram.
Yep.
Simba_Jackson, JAXN. That's my photography page. Hit me. I'm there.
Always on time, capturing all the memories.
Yeah, I'm gonna be there Saturday too.
Yes.
I'm gonna be there Saturday too. So tell me a little bit about Saturday. What happens on Saturday?
On Saturday, we are tuning in. Where? Inside of here, so you can't run. If you're trying to run from yourself, iBloom really isn't a place for you to be, but at the same time it is, because I'm going to turn you on to you, all right? You don't got a choice. So, like, Saturday is, I have, like, a residency at Cafe Envy in San Francisco. Shout out Auntie April. And this is my third open mic that I'm having here. And this one's really personal because the theme and the title is all around my brand, Blossom. So I called it iBloom simply because, it speaks for itself, iBloom. But somebody brought it to my attention that they thought I did like a flip of iPhone.
Right.
And I was like, I wonder who else thinks that. Like, that's really interesting. But I love that because put the phone down and bloom. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I guess that's how you want to view it. But really it's just about, blooming being a lifestyle choice. Yeah. It's a lifestyle. Just like working out, you can't work out once and be like, I'll work out. That's what I do. Mm-hmm. Yeah. When's the last you work out? Oh, you do. What's your lifestyle like? Oh, well, in January 1st, I had worked out, and now we here. Yeah, no, I don't do it every day. I don't practice that.
We in September now.
Yeah, right. I don't practice. Like, that's not a lifestyle. Like, you have to actively choose to dive into that, and it's just like, going back to the power of choice. Like, we're not in control. Like, God's in control, but you got the power of choice. Yep. So you better make that decision to actively bloom or stay stagnant. And like recently, I realized, like, people tell us that we're grown, at a certain age, and or people put it on themselves just because they paying bills and they at their mama house, or they doing this and that, and they think that they've grown. And I feel like that's scary. Because GROWN is saying that you're done growing.
Yep, you're done.
Are you done? You're never done. So it's like it's crazy though, because it's like we literally believe that there is a time or like an age where we're grown and an age where we stop growing, and it's like that's not true. And like I listen to a lot of old folks like they put that on themselves, like I'm old and like I can't or something. So I'm just like, what? Like, your spirit is hella young. Like, you're crippling yourself right now with your words. Like, don't do that. Like, you're growing. You're still in bloom if you actively choose to be in bloom. And, like, iBloom is just about blooming being a lifestyle choice. And it's also about bringing local artists together and just creating, like, an underground networking, beautiful, genuine space for everybody to come and just heal and turn up. And, like, that's what all of my events are about. It's about that balance. Like, a lot of spaces, like, it's all just loud the whole time. You can't talk to nobody. And, like, you can't really connect. Maybe you met somebody, but the next time you don't even know if you can really speak to that person because you didn't even really feel their energy. So you don't know if it's good. But it's like here you have an opportunity to connect, to speak, to heal and turn up. Like, the healing is the turn up. The turn up is the healing. Like, without both, what are you even doing? Like, are you sure of what's going on here right now? Like, so that's what it's about. And it's going to be amazing. You should come through.
Sure.
You're going to be there.
We'll be here.
You're awesome.
We'll be there.
You're awesome.
How do you curate an event?
Spectacularly.
Because we just went last week to
Art of Hip Hop.
Art of Hip Hop.
Yeah.
And it was an incredible sight, y'all. It was DJs in there. It was live performances in there. There were artists in there, visual artists in there who were giving out their work and live painting. I got some of that paint on my clothes. I was upset about it.
I've got some paint on my clothes.
But we all worked it out. But yeah, it was beautiful, and I got the pleasure of working the door for a while. So I got to be the first person that people saw when they walked in, and just seeing the diversity of who was coming in, who was coming out. I don't see that often. I was blown away that, somebody who I know can do something so dope. Like, people are really coming out for you. That's love right there.
Yeah.
And then the people that you chose those are the right people to bring people out. Because it was pretty much packed.
Yeah, we reached capacity.
Yeah, and that's a big space.
Yeah. It was beautiful.
So tell me a little bit about that process.
First of all, I just want to say that event was my first collaboration event with Knots, and that was completely amazing. Like, I went through the stage of, like, not being able to work with people because it was like my way or the highway. But it's like, what is your way? Your way is the teamwork way if you really think about it. Like, that's the right way. So it was so great to, like, after growing into that mind state, actually, like, having an opportunity to, like, okay, challenge myself and work with a team now. And it was all men that I worked with, and, they reached out to me and they was like, yo, like, sis, let's put on an event together. Let's do it. And, like, they titled it Art of Hip Hop. I'm like, I already felt like that title, it just had so much intention behind it. I'm like, okay, now we just finna sprinkle it with some more intention on this part. And that's what, like you said, like, we chose the right people because it's like, we consider that the artists down to the live painters, down to the vendors, and even to the ladies that we had chose to be at the front desk for the first people to see when they walk in. It's like we knew that you guys are so loving spirits, just like we are reflections, So it's like you have a crowd. You're going to pull out that crowd. And we want to be intentional about the crowd that we have. We're not going to, it doesn't mean that nobody's not welcome, but we're not going to have, like, I like rock music, but, like, let's say Art of Hip Hop, we weren't going to have, like, a rock band perform and then bring out that vibe or come out with that energy because now they're expecting rock music or they have expectations for something that we're not providing, you know what I'm saying? Because it was the art of hip hop. So we wanted to be intentional about the hip hop artists we had come through or the host. Like, I hosted, but other people hosted throughout the night with me as well, down to the DJs. And we know what type of DJs. We know, like, honestly, Shrugs and Ewok, the two men, I had never heard them mix before. murder.
Yeah,
they
definitely.
I was like, yes, like the whole night,
Yeah.
you know, and like Stoney and Sunflower, like they go crazy, and like it was just so perfect. Like if I could just say that, like it was perfect how it all flowed, and it really represented the art of hip hop. And like I feel like when it comes to creating events, it's all about intention and detail.
Definitely.
Because the people feel the detail. So it's like I could have just left a paper right here, like write your email. You know, I was like, no, I want two beautiful, loving faces at the front door that are gonna, and you know, they ended up creating their own thing. They was beatboxing, having people spit 4 bars. But
let me get it. So I walked in, I got there, and you know, I hit Venus. I'm like, where y'all at? Y'all there? Like, yeah, we're at the door. I was like, cool. Walked up, they're sitting at the table. It was like, all right, you can get it via donation, or I'm a beatbox and you got to rap to get in. Yep. It was like, what you want to do? And then as she asked me that, Get Stupid by Mac Dre was playing. So I just, when we pull up to the light, the people all staring. What? With that dreadlock hair. Like, I was good. It was good. It was like, before you even walk into the building, walk into the party, you're already having a party. Yep. That's beautiful. And it's having that foresight to say, I want these women there to greet. Yes. Was a great idea. Because their energy together is off the hook. And that's the thing about it too. Like, I love to have two people. Yeah. And it's like, I was just telling, like, I'm creating like a lot of events right now, and I was telling somebody, okay, we gotta have two people in the front. Yeah. They gotta know each other. Definitely. They got it because you complement each other. Yeah. You know you're gonna bounce off of each other. It just happened, and then it's like, okay, Venus beatboxing now. She'll like, where your 4 bars at? Come on, like, you know. So they just bounce off each other so perfectly, and it's like, yeah, you can give people an opportunity to meet. Y'all gonna do that all in there, but when it comes to certain things, you want people to work together that know each other, that feel comfortable with one another. Yeah. And that's why it just like that flowed so well. Like, and then when I got there, it was because Venus had to perform. Yes. I can't remember. The brother that was sitting next to me. Casa. Yeah. I collaborated with him. He was part of the collaboration. Shout out to you, bro, because we just sat there. We sat there for like a good hour. Man, and y'all was supposed to sit there how long? And we don't know each other, but we created a vibe like in that building to where it was like, okay, in the early parts of the night, okay, we had the young ladies in there and give it off that vibe to like, come on. But once people started getting there, the masculine vibe came out. So that's when the women started coming in. So we sitting here looking at each other like, hey, what's going on? So we gave off our vibes, our creep vibes. This what you got here. This what you about to expect from our hip hop right there. Two creepy motherfuckers. But no, we had fun, man. It was, that's beautiful. And he had a great energy about him. Yeah. And I know I'm goofy, I'm jokey, so we definitely bounced back off of each other, that's and it was a wonderful night. You couldn't be upset at that night. I couldn't be. It was the flow of it was more than I could ever ask for. You know, another thing with events is don't have no expectations. It's like, it's weird. It's like you want to be like, I want this to be like this, but if it doesn't, it might not come out that way. Right. It might not, like, so it's interesting with expectations. Like, don't have none, because don't be disappointed if it doesn't happen that way, and believe that it happened the way it was supposed to happen. So, like, you know, the show did not start exactly at the time we said it was. Right. So we pulled it back a little bit, and I was like, you know what? But right now we still do need some entertainment. Venus, I know you did not prepare for this. Right. You're performing. Come on, sis. I'm not asking. Friends don't have to ask friends to perform. You are performing. Here's the DJ's email. Send your music in. Right. I was just with you at the studio this morning. Talk about it. I'm not going to play with you. You just put out your whatever music video. I'm not going to play. Video. You go perform, girl. And she started the whole night, and like none of that was planned. People don't know though. We got a special guest in the building. Y'all didn't even know we had a special guest, but it's happening, you know. And it's like also like just trusting yourself. Like there was a time where we had to like keep the flow going, and because the DJs were switching, right? So I'm on the mic and I'm like, all right, and I kind of like I got nothing to say, so I'm like, all right, y'all, let's chant for the next DJ. I'm like, so I'm like, let's say E-Walk, and we saying it, and I'm like, oh, why I do that? I'm like, I kind of got him looking at professional, like he not ready, like, all right, so I'm like, look, where my dancers at? He finna get us ready, y'all. Like now I'm calling all the dancers to the front, and I see my friend Chaz.
I'm like, he gonna do something. Chaz, I'm calling you out. Come to the front.
Shout out to Chaz, man. He's cool dude.
Yeah, he from the beginning, he's like, what can I do to help? I'm like, you're here, just be you. Like, that's going to help me immensely. You have no idea. He was just being him. He came to the front. He's like, what do I do? I'm like, here. I handed him the mic. It's a family reunion.
I heard that from downstairs.
And that was like not planned out at all. Like,
they did the family reunion.
We introduced, and I'm like, keep doing that. And then we really like started pulling in people and like just passing the mic, and people was introducing themselves like with a flow, and we just kept that vibe going until he dropped the beat, and it was so beautiful because it was just like, like, first of all, shout out to friends that are able to just be themselves and like feel comfortable and with the crowd too, because it's like you could be yourself, but like you could feel that the crowd's not messing with you, and that's the thing with the intention of who we had come and the crowd that they pulled in. We're all loving. We're all like, it's good. Like, what's up? Whatever you do or say, that's how we gonna flow and go. So it was just so much love, and it's like to go with the flow of things and not focus on the outcome, but focus on each step throughout the journey. Each step. So it's like at the moment
you
I'm here. Could have panicked.
Didn't have to.
I'm like, what would I? And I always think about like if I'm at an event or like anything that I do, I'm like, would you like that? Would you vibe with that?
Yeah.
Would you? So I was like, all right, like, I'm gonna call all my dancers out, because if anybody called me out, like, hey, where my dancers? I'm coming to the front just to support, and I love to dance, whether I'm a little shy or not. I'm coming to the front, like, I don't care. So it was like I'm just calling them out. I started pointing at people. I'm like, oh, it's you? Yeah, you come here. I'm not even talking to nobody though. I'm just like, yeah, you come here, you. Like, so it's just like, you just really gotta be free and have fun. Always remember to have fun. Like, sometimes you could get like caught up with like the technicality of things and just like, but have fun.
Definitely.
Like, like, have fun, and don't ever believe that you could be late, because you could never be late. You're always on divine time. And I felt like I was late headed there, and I'm like, yo, you're on divine time. Like, chill, like, relax. Don't have that rushy, like, you know what I'm saying? Because that's the energy now that you're bringing, and like the people you're collaborating with, you're gonna rub off that energy to them. Like, y'all all want to just be cool, so y'all can all bounce off of each other. And like, if one person's a little like jittery, let me hug you. Let's take a deep breath while we hug you.
We gonna do this. We gonna get this out.
We got this. Like. Definitely. So just, regardless of if you're creating an event by yourself or collaborating, there's teamwork all through that spot. By all of the people that have attended, by the space, the people that provided the space. It's a team effort, no matter what. And that's why it's crazy. I was talking about like how I used to kind of be like, I don't want to work with a team. You're always working with a team.
Always.
You always are.
Always.
You just have to be aware of it and accept that. Like,
and finding the right team takes a lot of work.
Definitely.
Because people have egos, and people, don't work out. People get jealous. Yeah. Like, we could all be cool.
Majestic June. You're Majestic June. I'm Majestic June. I'm not stepping on your toes. You're not stepping on mine, because you're you and I'm me.
Talk about it.
And it's that simple. And like, I want to work with people that know that just, they know, like, I'm me and I'm bringing this to the table.
Yep. What do you bring?
I'm bringing it. And it's like, even if somebody else said that same thing, they didn't say it how I said it. They didn't mean it how I said it, because they don't have these exact roots. They didn't go through what this heart went through. Like, it's different, and you're you, and you have to be confident in that. Like, if you're in a whole circle full of people and they're like, you say I went through that. Like, you say your favorite quote. 2 people said my favorite quote, and I was the last one. And I was like, my favorite quote, y'all, I wanted to change it. I spoke on it. I wanted to change it because y'all, people already said it, but I'm going to stick to it because it's my favorite quote because of my reasons, and that's your favorite quote because of your reasons. Yeah. And it all hits home differently for everybody else. Yeah. Like, I'm still me. Like,
we could all see the same couch, and we could all look at different parts of the couch, and it'd be the same couch. Teamwork is a potluck of creativity.
It is.
Everybody brings something to the table. So,
I have never had gumbo. I just wanted to say that.
Are you dead ass?
So that if somebody can fire
we're going to change that. We'll change it. We'll change that.
Y'all let me know when y'all change that. Because, I need some gumbo.
Yeah, we about to get some crab.
Yeah, period.
Where did, because we talked about you being the oldest of 6, right? And we talked about battling depression and things like that.
That was funny.
Yo, so I want to take a second. Casanova just walked out, right? But the camera is like facing us, but he ducked down
like as if
like y'all saw him leave. Like, I just wanted to bring that. I just wanted so Cass, you're wilding. But we talked about, you know, battling depression and things like that. Where did your enlightenment come from?
Enlightenment.
Yeah, because, you know, we're always, you know, as a kid or coming up, there's always a trigger to make us, you know, awaken to who we are. And like you said, I created Majestic June. Like,
yeah.
Where did that awakening come from for you?
It's crazy. Like, first of all, I created Majestic June before that awakening even took place.
Oh, wow.
But it was perfect for once it did take place.
Yeah.
It was like, whoa, that's what that really means.
Yep.
Like, even to just touch on, like, you know, I just had money and had to get tattoos, and my first tattoo was a Kuna Matata. And it's like, today, that goes with everything I represent.
Yes.
No worries. Like,
definitely.
It's just so crazy. But, my awakening, like, I'm going to say this not even lightly but heavily, that I got into a major car accident, and that car accident was the best thing that ever happened to me. And I crushed my spine, and I broke my neck, so I have 2 metal rods and 8 screws holding up my spine. They want to go back in like a few years and take that out. That's out. Like, you're not cutting open my spine again in this world, not in this lifetime. And it's like, after that, you know, I started dealing with, like, you know, I felt like I was functionally depressed. It was chronic depression, like, just horrible. And, like, I was treating my family horrible, like, just all types of things going on. Within that time, I was in the hospital for about 10 days. Throughout that time, we got, so basically it was either we had to move out or we were going to be evicted. So my mom had family packing our stuff, moving our house while we were in the hospital. And when I came out, luckily we had an aunt that let us stay there. So me, my mom, and my brother came out, and we shared a small little room. I had to have a hospital bed in there. They were sleeping on air matches, and we were houseless for about a good year. And it was just like, all of that, just like, even talking about it and looking back at, like, what all of that was, like, I'm so grateful for there to have still been love poured into me from my mom. Like, shout out to my mom, you know, like, just down to the point to where I couldn't take a shower for 10 days. They told me while I was there, like, there's no showering. My mom said, well, I'm not taking a shower for 10 days. That's deep.
Love.
Okay, like, she was like, even just the 48 hours, like, that we were waiting for, like, they had to fly the top surgeon in the country out to come and do my surgery. So I waited 48 hours just on that board that they strap you on when they get you from the scene. I was just on that board, and they were like, if you sneeze, where, like, my spine was crushed and how close it was to my heart, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. You're gonna be paralyzed, or it's gonna be a wrap. So that was very scary. It was just like, you know, like you guys are telling, like, it was like part of me wanted to just, like, immediately, like, jolt to, like, all happiness, like, I'm still here, like, whoa, but I couldn't even be there, because I'm just like, I'm still just strapped to this board right now, and I don't know what's gonna happen. Like,
the uncertainty.
So shout out to my mom. Just, like, you know, I know she was worried, but, like, she kept me, like, just, you know, going, and, like, just, you know, the smile, and my whole family just came through. And it was like, from that, like, throughout that time in my life, like, I was living a whole different way than after the car accident. Like, I don't know who I was. I don't know. I was definitely trying to be somebody that I wasn't. I don't know who that was, but it was like, after that, it was like, my family's all I have. And I was definitely a person that was dived into friendship, and it was like, none of these people were my friends, let alone even my acquaintances. Like, y'all just don't give a damn about me, because you don't even give a damn about yourself. And those are the type of people that I was rocking with, and it was just no purpose, you know. And it was just like, I thought that, like, that was kind of all I had, until I realized, like, this is what I have and all I have. Like, these people that all just came here and showed up for me. And that was just such, like, a pivotal moment in my life, and it changed my outlook on everything. You know, even within the battling with depression and things like that, you know, I started becoming more dependent on weed, because it was like, oh, now I'm using it as medicine for my pain. But I was already a pothead before the car accident. Now I just got a reason to be a pothead and show up to the family events high, and can't nobody say nothing to me. And it's respectful because it's medicine, right? Y'all okay? And okay, now it's okay on top of being okay. But, like, it was just like, after getting out of the depression part of it, even looking back at the depression part of it, that was a part of the stage of me, like, completely letting go of that old me. Like, just letting all of that,
that's
like...
the last of it.
That's the last of it. I definitely was in the neck brace, wanted to go hang out with the friends that I was with the night before I got into the car accident. And I did it. And, like, just looking back on it, it was like, what? You was still in the neck brace. Yeah. You was still having to change your back bandages because you just had spine surgery. And you wanted to go drive around?
Yeah, doing nothing.
You want to go be in a dry hype is what I call it. I'm done with dry hypes. I'm cool off of that. So it was just like, checking myself before I wreck myself. I had to get to that point in my life also and just be like nothing's going to change unless you change. What is it that you want to change? Like, let me pinpoint these things in my life. Like, I don't like that. I don't like that about me. I'm going to change that. I don't like that. I love this, though. And you've been kind of compressing that about you. Like, raise that a little higher. Like, I think that is you. Yeah. I think that's you. And, like, within all of that and having and being around family more than ever, I was able to see me in them. So I'm like, that is you. Yeah. Like, you were really hiding that part of you. And, like, you're goofy. You're weird. You're funny. Like, you're just amazing. Like, you're a natural nurturer. You're loving. Like, these are the things that, like, I am that I was completely putting aside. And it was, like, almost to a point to where, like, I was picking up a whole different lifestyle that I never had, but I wanted to choose so badly so I could be wanted and accepted by a whole different type of community that wasn't even community. So it was just like,
individuals together.
It was just individuals together. Yeah. And, like, honestly, just that whole entire thing, it changed my life because it brought out a part of me, like a fight part of me that I never knew I had. And it was like, yo, you got you. You got through this. Like, there was a point in time where I literally had to go like this to open up the cabinet, to get out. Like, your spine's connected to everything. And, like, to be very honest, I still today battle with insecurities behind the muscle that I've lost and behind chronic pain and behind the thing. Like, I can't do everything everybody could do. I need back support. Yeah. Y'all want to sit where? Okay, I'm going to find me a chair. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? But, like, I used to have to, like, tell people, like, okay, it's time for me to go home, like, tell my rides or just certain things. And, like, I would feel like, damn, like, I was 18 when it happened. Like, I'm only 18 and I just had spine surgery. Yeah. Like, y'all put metal in my spine to hold my spine up for me to be alive. Like, let me sit on that for a second. Like, all right, that happened. But it's like, that honestly, like, you go back to the question you asked me earlier, like, how do you keep your joy? That, like, I'm here. Yes. That's why I know I'm a powerhouse full of purpose, because I am here to live out my purpose.
You're 100% right.
I am here to live out that purpose. I am here for a reason.
You better live out that purpose.
So it's like, I mean, like,
a friend like me, I'm going to call you on it. It's like, we sleeping up?
We sleeping up?
We sleeping up?
You know why you're here, right?
You remember? You're not.
Please do hold me accountable. And that's what I was saying earlier. Like, I only want to be around people that are going to hold me accountable to reach my higher self at all times, because we can fall into that little mind state or that dark space, and, like, it's hard sometimes to get out of it, but I know that I'm capable because I've been through the worst. Right. And I'm like, yo, like, you could come out of anything. Mm-hmm. Like, man, like, I just go in on that story, but, like, that's the base of it. And, like, going through that really just opened up my eyes, and it was just like, yo, like, you just almost lost your life because of how you were living your life. First of all, why were you on the freeway headed home at 2 a.m. anyways, being behind some dudes, being an attention seeker because you feel like you weren't getting attention from the men in your life that you properly deserve, so you're out here seeking for it, 2 a.m. in the morning, having sessions. Now I'm driving home, and, like, 2 cars just took me off the road, and it's just like, wasn't my fault, but I should have been at home. Definitely shouldn't have been out at no hours. Like, I'm 18 years old. Like, take your ass home.
Right, early.
So, early, buddy. Like, early. And, like, I moved back in with moms recently, and I got a curfew, and I'm like, I respect it.
Respect the curfew. They keep you out of trouble.
Period.
They're not trying to stifle our adulthood.
Nope.
I want you safe. I want you in the house by midnight.
Yep.
I'm locking my door at midnight. If you're not there, you can't come home.
Yeah.
Or you can sleep on the porch. Like,
you gonna get home. You gonna get home at the right time. Yeah. You want to sleep under them covers.
Yeah. Nobody want to sleep on the porch.
Nobody wants to.
Nobody want to sleep on the porch.
No, you want, man. So it's just like, be happy.
So how did you get into the space to where now you built this tribe, and where did that come from? Did that come specifically from Second Mondays? Okay.
Well, I met you, I met Venus, I met Shahad, I met all of you guys there for the first time. But as far as, like, the reason I even heard about Second Monday is through Jeremy.
Okay.
So, like, Jeremy.
Shout out to the guy, man.
You know, Jeremy.
Shout out to the guy, Jeremy.
Let's talk about him for a second. Like, he gave me, like...
Power. He is power.
I use the word permission because of him. He's just like, you know, he's the one that taught me to really step out of myself. It's not even just what he says, but he embodies it.
Yes.
Because, you know, even as kids, it's like, you know, we're not going to listen. We're gonna do as you do. You know what I'm saying? So, like, he always told me, but he embodied it. And it was just like, it's bigger than me. It's bigger than him. He is living out his purpose and, like, just being who he is on stage because somebody like me in the audience who needed to see that to now have permission to live in my purpose.
Exactly.
Now I'm going to do that. And I'm going to do that for the next little girl, next little boy that sees me and is like, yo, like, I could do that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you can. Like, and it's just,
and you can do it better than me.
And you could do it better than me. And like, and that's his thing. He's just like, and you gonna be better.
Yeah.
You're gonna be bigger and better. Like, and I love saying that to people too.
You have
because
more
it's like,
time, and you have an OG like me.
Here to guide you. I'm here for you. And like,
you have a stepping block, bro. Like, I don't even want to say step, but like, literally, bro.
You do.
Little rung on the ladder.
He's like a dad, a grandpa, an uncle, a cousin, and everything in one. And like, I'm so grateful for it. And it's just like, shout out to Jeremy, man. Like, he taught me that when you go into spaces, you come to make the uncomfortable comfortable and the comfortable uncomfortable.
If they leave,
if I'm not doing that, I don't want it. I don't want to be on the stage.
Leave.
If they leave, they leave.
So, shout out to Jeremy once more.
Yes. He's amazing.
Where do you get? What are your inspirations? Because when I hear you vibe, like you did a set at Art of Hip Hop, and you gave me Latifah, Left Eye, Light. Like,
come through.
You gave me Marsha Ambrosia, like, like all into one. A little bit of Lauren in there, like all just,
you know,
in
like
this bubble of sunshine. I'm like, who did you listen to get that 90s? And you already have like a 95, 96 aura about you, like just even down to the way you dress. It's retro in the sense of, you know, the cool that the 90s had. It's the cool. It's like, it's not the high fashion or whatever like that. It's
whatever that is.
It's the comfortable. It's the comfortable cool that the 90s brought.
Yeah.
Where did that come from? Why are you so damn cool? Is what I'm asking. That's what I'm asking you. Like, how are you so goddamn cool?
Because I'm cool with me. Like,
there you go. Talk about it.
I'm cool with me. Like, you know, it definitely took a while to get there. You know, I was trying to be all up in the high fashion and all up in the, okay, this is what I got to wear to look like this and for people to accept me like this. And okay, do I got to show this part of my skin for the guys to like me while I'm on stage? And do I, you know, all that, all those thoughts and all that. And it was just like, yo, I'm in my pajamas right now, and I feel like I'm floating on like a fashion cloud right now, and I know I am because I say I am, and I'm embodying it, and it's like it's that simple. But like I had to realize it, go through that phase, and once again, shout out to my tribe, shout out to Marjay, shout out to Breeze, because they have given me so much permission, like just by watching them and seeing them and vibing with them ever since like I've got the opportunity to know them. It's like, yo, be you.
Definitely.
Like, unapologetically, fully to the max.
Yeah.
Like, go hard with being you.
Yeah.
And, like, seeing them be comfortable, I was like, I could do that. Go back to that permission that Jeremy put me on. It's like, wow, everybody's out here giving people permission every day. Every day. And now I just got to give myself the permission to get out my way and do it. Definitely. So I started just, you know, doing me. I'm like, this is you. Like, you're a thrifter and you're a comfortable type vibe type gal. Like, pick it up, put it on. Yes. I'm vibing. And earrings are my thing. So, like, as long as I got earrings on, I'm killing it. I know I got no earrings on right now, but I'm still killing it. That's crazy. Like, it is what it is. But, like, when it comes to inspiration, you know, like, not on no cliche. Like, life inspires me.
Yeah.
Being alive while living, choosing to be alive while living, and those around me, like, literally inspire me on a day-to-day basis. Like, I write a lot about other people's stories. Like, you know, I haven't really been in and out of the love realm, but I done felt some feels, you know what I'm saying? And I and it's like, but listening to other people's stories, it's like, yo, like, I'm about to write about that. And like it inspired, because it's like I know other people go through that, and I know that I'm going to go through that. Maybe I just haven't had that text message yet.
Right.
Maybe I just haven't went down that road yet, or had that first kiss yet, or whatever it is. Because it's like even songs come on, and like I'll hear a song today that I've known forever. What was I just listening to the other day? Wow. I want to say it was Tell Me If You Want Me To. And I was listening to the lyrics like I've heard this song tons of times, but I ain't never felt it how I feel it right now. Because maybe you haven't met that person that made you feel that way, and or you're just in that stage of your life. And like honestly, like when it comes to like artists specifically, like I'm gonna give you 5, right?
Okay.
I'm gonna give you 5. Off tops, Alicia Keys, since day one.
Little Alicia.
Since day one. That was the first song I've ever sang in the studio. I was 12 and I sang No One. And like I remember, like his name's Rake and Screw. He's a Jamaican artist, and my grandma manages him. Like he let me sing in his studio, and he put it on a little disc for me. The whole ride home, we was listening to it. She's like, you know, like, yeah, I killed that. You like that, grandma? You heard that? No, like, let's turn this up a little bit. Like, it was great, and it was just like, wow, like Alicia Keys is everything, and Songs in Minor is just like off tops my fave, and Sade. Let's take it there. Sade and Alicia are like I am so in love with Sade. It is like crazy. It's just like she taught me how to slow down. She taught me how to slow down and how to live in the moment with my notes and with my lyrics, and how to tell a story.
Right.
And I just really appreciate that about her. And you know, like it's rumors that she got a new album coming out. I don't know if they rumors or what it is, and that she's doing a world tour. I don't know. I've been hearing this since last year. So
Sade's ticket
I don't know.
Sells out in 15 seconds.
I'm just let me know, because I will go broke and be abundant within behind her. Okay,
right? Because you know they're gonna be 200-300.
I don't care. I'm there.
You know they are.
And you know, okay, let's take it there now. The Brat.
You see the brand?
You see the brand? Literally though, like that's crazy. Watching her, like, you know, like I definitely look at the fashion. I watch the interviews, like Sade with her interviews. Like let's speak on Sade's interviews real quick. She is real, like it's like each one of her answers are about a minute long, and she don't give you too much. I remember this one interview, and the girl asked her like, "What kind of men are you attracted to?" And her answer was just like, well, I can't tell you, like, then you're going to get all the good ones. And, like, that was just her answer. Like, it was just, like, cut. Like, you're not getting me. Like, you know, like, you're going to get my music. Listen to my music. Like, and she would keep saying that a lot in her interviews. Like, you'll hear it in my music. And, like, I just admired that about her. Because it's, like, I don't have to share, like, all of me with you. But you get my talent. You get the skill that I built. And now I'm going to give that to you. And that's what you get. And, like, I admire all of those ladies. And now let's go into Mos Def. I love Mos Def to infinity and beyond.
Shut up for y'all saying.
Like,
what's your favorite Mos Def song?
I don't know why I want to say Mathematics, but it's not. It goes crazy. It is, because I don't know if the name of the song is Just Love.
Okay.
I don't know if it's Love, and I can't think of how it goes right now, but I want to say the name of the song is Just Love. Okay. Not Just Love, but Love. It's like when you said it, like when you just said love, it's like it came like the whole flow came to me. But like that's one of my favorites for sure.
My parents was in love when they made me. Come
through, and that's like honestly, I love that song. Of course, I love Brown Sugar. Like I could play that on repeat, like no matter the time or the place.
It's my favorite romantic comedy.
Yeah, I mean it's a really good movie.
That is my favorite romantic comedy.
It's a great movie.
It's really what I always said. I wanted to be Tay Diggs from Brown Sugar when I was that was the coolest thing. He's like, he worked in a record producer. He's a record producer. You know, he's a manager.
Yeah.
He got this artist, and he loved his best friend. Like,
just a real down to earth individual.
Just a question: when did you fall in love with hip hop?
That is a powerful question. But why did they answer it in the way of like it had to do with like spiritual love, mental love, and romantic love. Like, she brought it all around. They both brought it all the way around.
Definitely.
And I'm like, yo, like, that's real true. And, like, I want to answer that. Like, shout out to my uncle, because he has been showing me what hip-hop is. I just asked him the other day, like, yo, when did you start spinning? Like, he was a DJ. Yeah. And he was like, well, I've been playlisting since I was 8, and I started, like, spinning when I turned 12. And I'm like, man, I was 6. I was 6 years old while you were at the family events, 12, 13, DJing the whole party, had the flow go, had everybody going. And it was like, yo, like, you're amazing. And like, I feel like that honestly like helped me with just knowing music, you know, and knowing the, like, it's not just a sound, but like the vibration that music brings, it's healing, it's everything. Like, and I'll never forget like the day that me and him just had, like, I was probably 14. I was a junior. Was I a junior? I was a junior. And he came through, and we had a whole night. He put me on. You would believe it or not, like, he put me on Erykah Badu while I was in like a junior. Like, I knew a few songs, but he gave me like albums. He gave me Sade albums. He's like, study these albums. Lauryn Hill, study. He's like, study these albums. Come back, I'll give you some more. And I'm just like, yo, like, and like, that's why Sade. I've been a student forever. Before I even really realized this was something that I wanted to do, I've been, and like, I love it today when like he came to my Art of Hip Hop event, and he's just like, I'm so proud of you. Like, look at what you're doing. I'm like, yo, I was listening. I've been listening, and like, I'm just so grateful to have like been around him my whole life, and like, he's still into it, and like, he's the best MC I know, hands down, of course. And like, I've learned. I've learned from him. I've learned how to crowd control. I've learned to, yes, you can perform not over your vocals. Like, that's the way to do it. Like, if you're gonna be a real hip hop artist, be a real hip hop artist. Like my mom said, if you're gonna drink, you don't need a chaser. If you're gonna drink it, just drink it. Like, you know, if you're gonna do it, do it. So it's like, you know, it's like, go hard or go home. And like, he taught me that, didn't just say it, but embodied it. And I remember like being 18 and being able to go to like that one event. Like, finally, I'm old enough to go to his events. And shout out Gabby. She put on an all-white event. And at that event, I actually met my partner that I now, like, perform live with. She paints live whenever we, Jinjinska. Oh, she's on the back of this jacket I'm rocking. So, like, yeah, like, I met her there. And, like, that started me, like, within the artist family. Like, I'm like, there's a whole family of us?
Exactly.
Oh, my gosh. Like, this is what I've been missing on. Like, damn. And that's why all of my events are actually all ages. Except Art of Hip Hop, because it was a collaboration. And we wanted it 21 and up. But all my events are all ages, because my whole life I always wanted to go see my uncle perform. And I couldn't go. I couldn't go. So I'm like, yo, people are going to have the opportunity to perform while they're this age and have their daughter right there watching them, or their little, like, you know, whatever it is. Like, everybody's welcome, you know. And even the baby's welcome. The baby could cry while you on stage performing. That's her clapping for you. It's just another vibration in a different. So it's like everybody's welcome. But yo, like, I fell in love with the way that my uncle fell in love with hip hop. I was like, yo, watching him, like,
because your style, the way you rap, it's a you got this heavy staccato in the way that you rap, and it's like you just jab it. You like you did is what. I deserve a lover
who gon' consider me and all my energy.
I've been singing this all day, all week.
Man, like, we were talking about it earlier. Before you try to come at me, because you don't even know what you bring, bro.
Right.
Like,
she said, you asked my partner.
Yo,
give me that line. Just give me that bar.
Nobody ever told you that it's weak word game to send your homie over for my number and
my name.
He can snatch your play. But the gag is, I don't exist for a game.
Talk about it,
man.
That's bars, boy. That's bars, boy. I don't care what y'all talk about. That's bars. Last thing before we go. I know that you told me that we talked about what you wanted to talk about, but do you have any questions for me, for Cass, that we can answer for you? We could talk about that. Something's been plaguing you that you want to talk about. You want to talk to two men who are older than you about something. Like, is there anything in your mind?
I'm gonna be so honest. Like, I have something. It just popped up. I didn't plan this or anything. I actually do have two questions, but I want to talk about it first. So let's talk about I want to talk about rape culture and domestic violence.
Okay.
And I read this like quote, like this girl had it on a poster, and it was like, every woman knows another woman that's been raped, but no man knows a rapist.
Right. Yeah, we talked about that. Yep.
And I was like, so it's like, where, like, what's up with the accountability within the conversation that these men are having, where you heard that sounded a little off, or you just know completely that was off, but you're letting him still talk about it, or you're giving him the okay, because he's telling you because he needs that okay.
Right.
He kind of needs you to be like, oh yeah, like,
because he feel guilty about it.
He know what he did.
Yeah.
He know what he did. Mm-hmm. So it's just like, where's that accountability for where it's like, there's men that are saying, I do know a man that was a rapist, and you know, it's not, you're not like, and then it's like, once you figure out that that's what that is, don't hang out with that person. No. Somebody just brought to my attention cancel culture. I'm like, what is that? And they were like, how we're just canceling people. Yeah. And it's like, everybody deserves a second chance. But does that person want a second chance? Does that person want to change? Does that person know what they did was completely wrong? And you know what I'm saying? So it's like, within all that should be your answer as to how you move with that person from now on.
Right.
But it's like, have you ever had a conversation with a man where it was a little like off about the way that he was talking about his experience with a woman?
For me,
with sexual encounters.
For me, it wasn't so much anything forced or anything like that. But when I was a kid, teenager, whatever, I had big homies. I had older people that I knew who were fucking high school kids. Why are you fucking high school kids and you're not in high school?
Yeah.
That's nasty.
It's like, it's interesting because I don't feel like they realize that they're taking advantage, and the young lady or the young male doesn't feel like they're taking advantage. And I want to say young male because a lot of men that I've talked to, and we speak about like when they lost their virginity, I kid you not, I'm always hearing 12 or 13.
Yeah.
And who was it with? A grown woman.
Yep.
And of course they feel hecka good about it because that's what they've been taught, that like, now, like, you messing with it. Oh, okay, like that makes you a man or something. No, like you were taken advantage of.
Yeah.
Like, that's not okay.
Yeah, that's not your fault.
It's not your fault at all.
Yeah. I think for I'm gonna say for me, it plays a tricky part because if we speak on it, we're told, you all right, you just got some pussy. I'm like, yeah, I did get some pussy, but I got some pussy from somebody who just took advantage of me. And now my dealings with women, I'm going to try to take advantage because that's what I was taught.
Yeah.
So a lot of it is like, it's not necessarily they want to rape or anything like that, but they've been taken advantage of. So what they know about sex is to try to maneuver their way into some pussy. And maneuvering your way into some pussy is the wildest way to get some pussy.
It is, and like I feel like you can be like right now, like like we just chilling at the house or something, and I'm kind of like it's late. It's late. I had a great time with you, and then but you heard that, but you didn't really feel that because you're already in your mind like, I know what I want right now, so that's what I'm focused on. So you're gonna push that to the side, and now you're gonna probably try to start a new conversation. Already you're dishonoring that I am already not giving consent for you to even be in my house right now. Or I want to go and maybe you're my ride. Let's go. So I feel like people, like men and women, both, because men get raped as well. Like we all have to start being more present in the moment with that person, not in our mind and having expectations to how this night is going to go. But let's be present and treat that person like I would want to be treated. Let's treat that person like a person, hear them out. And you definitely have to consider like, okay, if my brother was on a date with a man or with a woman, like I would want to make sure that he was being heard out. If he felt uncomfortable, so when I'm hanging out with any guy, no matter if it's a homie or no matter if it's a guy that I like I'm going to treat you how I would want the men in my life to be treated and how I treat them with gentle love, respect. Like I'm going to treat you that way, and I want you to treat me how you would want your mom, your sister, and your auntie, your grandma to be treated. If they were out on a date or just hanging with a homie, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was hanging with you, and like you were just such a gentleman. I'm like, like I love Simba. I'm like, like he made sure I was safe. Came open my Uber door for me, all that. Like, all right, peace, fam. Like, just all that good stuff. We make sure we get home safe, and it's just like these things really count because without that, people start to kind of think they don't deserve that.
Exactly.
We're all deserving of that respect.
Right.
Automatically, that respect. And I feel like, let's just dive into this real quick. Like, we should start talking more about consent and teaching our young boys and our young ladies about consent, because it's like, if you don't personally know what your boundaries are, how are you ever going to respect and see that somebody else has boundaries and they're showing you right now?
Right.
Because you don't even know what your own boundaries are.
You don't know when to say no.
You don't know when to say no, or how to
no.
accept a no.
Right. For me, I've always been around women, and I've always had women friends. I've always been that dude to be there for everybody. And we talk. So, I've been on a date with this dude. He did X, Y, Z. I got hollered at by this dude. He did X, Y, and Z. Just so many times, I can't. If I had a nickel every time I said these phrases, I'd be rich. But I'm so glad I'm not like these niggas. I've said that so many times. I'm so glad I'm not like these niggas, man. Like, because no matter who it is, when you're with me, you're not going to feel like that. You're not going to feel creeped out. You're going to feel safe and protected at all times with me.
Yep.
Because y'all are all my sisters.
And that's how I feel when I hang out with you. Like, I'm affirming that. Like, that's who you are and what you do.
I'm an only child. I've always wanted sisters. I want all daughters.
Yes.
I want to be around women. So, and I know how to treat them.
Yeah.
So, for me, it's really easy. Like, I have partners like, oh, yeah, Simba always got bitches around him. I'm like, nah, I don't. But I do surround myself with women of substance. Mm-hmm. Because you've never seen a woman of substance you think is, oh, why you not fucking that? Ooh.
And
because I don't have to. I don't need to. I can keep them around for the rest of my life.
I feel better about myself.
I'm good. I am amazing. My nigga, y'all trash. That's me. What was the second one?
I wanted to know why you guys started this mental health podcast.
Oh, man, because I was tired of people taking my points and putting it on their podcast. Deadass. Like, let me look directly into the camera. I was tired of y'all taking my points and putting it on y'all podcast. So I have a podcast now. And y'all can't steal my shit no more. Y'all mad. But yeah, that's honestly why.
Yeah.
And I wanted to help because the conversation needs to be had. And I'm big on conversation and I'm big on healing. And I want to heal. And every episode I do, I'm being healed.
Yeah.
You just, I feel like you've been healed.
For sure.
So it's an exchange.
It is.
Of healing. And that's what this whole show is about. The show is not about me. It's not for me to be famous. This is for y'all to get y'all stuff out. Mm-hmm. I barely talk on these episodes. It's about the person.
Yeah, you just let me.
Yeah, it's about the person. I want to give you the platform on my platform to let people know that you're dope.
Yep. Let
people know that you're trying to be out here for the people. That's what this podcast is about. Yeah. I'm the best medicine that you can have. You're the best medicine that I can have. You're the best medicine. We are each other's best medicine. Yeah. And we use each other to heal.
We do. We heal through each other, through our reflections, for sure.
And that's the best man way, man.
I definitely feel, like I said, I woke up today, I felt a little rough, and I came in feeling great with zero expectations, but I knew for sure that I was going to feel lighter. Yeah. And I definitely feel lighter, and I feel comfortable, I feel safe, and I feel protected, and I feel heard, I feel held, I feel loved, and it's great. Like, thank y'all so much for having this podcast, for reaching out to the locals, and you know what I'm saying? Like, that's where it starts. That's why I host events. Like, we're creating space for each other within our platforms, like, I'm grateful.
Before we go, I have what's called, I call the diagnosis, which I give bullet points of what our conversation sounded like. Okay. So this is the diagnosis.
That's what you was doing.
That's my favorite part of the whole show.
We're gonna need a whole drum.
Yeah. Like, I could just put like some music in there.
No, but you want you. Period.
The diagnosis. Number 1. Go hard at being you. Go hard at being you.
Yeah.
Because who else gonna go hard for you? Who else gonna love you?
The way you do for you.
Nobody.
Period.
Masturbation, manifestation.
All the way.
Number 2. Actively bloom or stay stagnant. So you grow or you wilt. Which one do you want to do? Number 3. Live in your power.
Yes.
Live in your power.
Powerhouse full of purpose.
Powerhouse full of purpose. Be a powerhouse full of purpose. Don't let anybody take that power away from you. It's yours. Take it. Number 4. There shouldn't be any shame in your happiness.
No shame.
Be happy for no reason.
Oh, yes.
Be joyful for no reason.
On purpose.
On purpose. Have purpose and intent for your happiness.
Yes.
And the last one. Can you sing this for me? Can you sing that for me?
We came to heal and flow and let it all go. We here to heal and flow. We came to let that pain go. We finna heal and flow. Let that shit go. It's over there. I'm healed. We flowing. We let it go. It's over there.
We heal. We flow.
Yeah.
And we let that shit go.
All the way.
Majestic,
Simba,
I love you.
I love you.
And I wish you the best in everything you're doing.
Love-wise.
Would you like to shout yourself out? This is your moment. Your moment of fame in 15 seconds.
Yo, so always be free in your socks, because that's how I be, you know what I'm saying? Follow me on Instagram at Majestic June, MAJESTICJUNE _. And I don't have any music out yet, believe it or not. I just have loyal fans that rock with me, yo. But my project's coming out in June 2019, so be on the lookout for that. And be on the lookout for all of my amazing events. I got one coming up May 18th, May 25th, May 30th. So just tap in with me. I would love to have y'all be a part of it. However you would like to be a part of it, it's open, because teamwork makes the dream work and we better together. So yeah, and stay in bloom. Stay in bloom on purpose.
On purpose.
On purpose.
I need that I Deserve a Lover track though. I need that track. I need that. Hey, whenever the engineer mixes that down, send me that, man. I need that exclusive, man.
I got you.
She said,
for sure.
Oh, I was like, yes, we gotta say that shit, girl.
Oh my god, I love that song.
Simple Roar, back in this thing one more time, bruh. This has been the Best Man Pod. This has been The Diagnosis, and we out.
Peace. I came to heal and flow and let it all go. I came to heal and flow and let it all go. Heal and flow, let it all go. I came to heal and flow, let that pain go. I am healing. I'm a healing addict. Cheering myself on, #1 fan, best to believe it. I'm feeling everything these days, however everything is nothing and nothing is everything. What's everything without nothing? It is purely nothing. See, we're all nothing, but oh so much in one. Somehow, our physical forms got the best of us along our journey of living and being raised. This time, I sat you down and looked you in the face with truth. You are more than what these humans adore. Same folk. Did you hear me in the back? You are more than what these humans adore. That outside layer we use as a shield don't got shit on, spirit. Same folk. Do you hear me in the back? That outside layer we use as a shield don't got shit on, spirit. And no, fool, I ain't talking about the airlines. I'm talking about that Cosmos, Love Jones, most soul, divine spirit in your bones. Oh yeah, it flows, even if you don't know. Now what you also need to know is your spirit and your soul are awaiting your control. See, there's a switch right in front of the third eye. You know that blind spot in between your eyes? If you would kindly jiggle. I know it's your first time. Maybe just a little wiggle if you're scared. But baby, there's a light inside of there and you forgot where. It's inside of you, brothers and sisters. And it wants to shine through. Switch. Peekaboo. I see you. Never felt so better. I don't wear assumptions and expectations like sweaters in New York City's winter weather. I am free of all those limitations I bestowed upon thee. Can y'all believe that shit? It's like I was playing me. But now I know the truth and wanted you to know too. You have to set yourself free. The war was always within me. So I started off by forgiving me. You can start off by forgiving you too. I started off by speaking and thinking to benefit me. You gotta speak and think to benefit you. See, I protect my peace, my reality. Protect your peace and your reality for you. And every second and every day remind yourself, I am healing. I am on a journey of self-discovery that is never ending, and I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. And most importantly, I am. Period. I came to heal and flow and let it all go. I came to heal and flow and let it all go. I came to heal and flow. I'm finna let that pain go. Heal and flow. Let that shit go. Thank you. I'm Majestic June. MAJESTICJUNE. That be me. Alright.
Fire.
Fire.
Can I get the hook again?
Yeah. So.
She said.
Oh, I love y'all. Okay. I came to heal and flow and let it all go. I came to heal and flow and let it all go. I came to heal and flow and let it all go. Heal and flow. I'm gonna let that pain go. Shout out to Marjay and Breeze, for teaching me, giving me permission to do acapella. Because, man, they really inspired me and, just showed me, bitch, to hire you, do some acapella. And, just watching them do acapella, it was just whoa, I'm really able to feel them deeper than I am with that beat in the background. Yep. You know what I'm saying?